Yes, yes, I forgot to record it. Okay, no issue. So I'm just sharing my screen. Okay, again. Uh, so so you understand, right? What is a lead, right? So now I am creating this lead into my account, right? So by taking some basic information from the trainer. So when I click on save, what will happen? It is saved into the our lead object. So now I am entering the leads, right? Who am I? I am a end user. Okay. Now, so that is a lead, right? So that's what the lead for the Swiss technologies. So once you take the a course, right? So then he will convert into the account and contact, right? This is the process. Okay. Now these are the standard objects. Now I want to use the custom object. So for some other purpose. Okay. So my purpose is I need to store what are the courses offered in the Swiss technologies. So that is the conversation happened between the business analyst from T-Hub and business analyst from the Swiss technologies. So what we have discussed, so we thought so we need to store all the courses which are offered in the Swiss technologies. Okay, right. Now for that, so they asked us to create the for that they asked us to create the custom object. Okay, this is the instance. Okay, we name it as a Salesforce instance or Salesforce sandbox. Right? Here we have and here we have contact. Along with this, they want the courses to store into one of the objects. For that, what I have decided, I suggested him to, so we are going with the custom object. Okay, because the purpose of these other standard objects are not for these courses. Okay, that's why let me make it a standard object. Now I want to create an object called courses. Okay. Now we'll see like how we need to create a custom object. So now what I told as a business analyst for you guys, just create a custom object called courses. Okay. Now, so where should I go? So for now, I will use the class. Okay. Where should I go? I should go for the setup. Now I am a developer. Okay. I'm going to the setup. Here, I need to go for the object. Right. I need to create the object. The under create, you will have a link called objects. Right? Because I want to create a custom object. If you see this is a custom object. So if you read it, custom objects are the database tables that should have been discussed, right? That allow to store the data specific to your organization is there. Okay? You can see the custom objects to extend service functionality or build a new application functionality. Okay? Once you have created a custom object, you can create a custom tag, custom bulletin list, reports and dashboards for users to interact with the custom object data. You can also access the custom object through the API. So this is what we have discussed. you understood, right? So how the tables will be there in backend, the server, right? Right, for the DB. So we already have a seats. Also, we already have contacts. We have, for now, we are discussing of the objects and objects. I will keep it as I will keep it like this. Okay. This, we can say the table. Okay. Database table. What is this? Name it as accounts. Okay. What we call it as a contacts. So this is the table. So don't get confused. Okay. So that I will make this the tables. This is how backend database will look like. With all the fields. Okay. For now, I'm just adding two columns to understand. So we'll be having multiple columns because what are the fields we have? Okay, the Salesforce. For each and every field, we have a column there. So, right. So now what we are doing? So we are going to create a new object called courses. Right. So where should I go? If you go to the custom object link, so you can see you have the option to create a new custom object. Right. So just click on that new custom object. So now what it is asking? Just to give the name for this custom object. Now what I will do? I will do as a courses. Okay. So also in that you can make as a courses. Okay. Now this is the object name. Okay, what is this name? This is the API. So, so for every field or for every object, okay, Salesforce will be maintaining a backend, a unique field. Okay, that field is known as API name. Okay, for that field or for that object, right? So by default, whatever the label you will give, the same name it will take. If you want to change, you can change it. Okay, but we won't change anything here. Okay, by default, we will keep the same name as a label. Okay, so description. So we need to give some description. See, this is not a mandatory thing. Okay, okay. So if you want to give some description, you can give some description. Like so what this objects deals with. Okay. So I will give some description like to store the sources offered. Okay, this is what the description I will give. If somebody comes to this object, if they see, so simply they can understand by seeing the description. Okay. Now, if you see this setting, context sensitive help setting. What is this saying? Open the standard salesforce.com help and training window. Okay. That means so for everything you can see this icon, right? Right. So that is the definition of this. So you can ignore this one. Okay. So by default, you can keep for now open the standard Salesforce help and training window. Right. So here, see, So this is very, very important. Okay, but whenever you're creating any object, right? So this is the main thing. So by default, I told you, right? By default, so Salesforce will be maintaining a common field for all the objects that is known as ID, right? In order to identify the record, right? This is the ID column for every record, okay? For every object, correct? Okay? For every object, Salesforce will maintain this ID, right? So whenever you're creating this object, okay, the first and foremost thing is, so you need to set up this record name. Along with this ID, Salesforce will be maintaining one more. Yeah, Salesforce will be maintaining one more column as name. Okay, record name. These are the common fields Salesforce will be maintaining for each and every object. If you open any object, you can see, okay, these fields, okay, like this. So this is what we have to create at the time of object creation. This is the backend field Salesforce will be maintaining. Okay, so no need to bother about this ID. But this name we need to create at the time of object creation. Okay, what is the data type of this name field? We have two options. One is a text field. Text field means you need to enter only the text. Okay, in that. The auto number means, so you need to, I mean, no need to create anything. So you need to just display the format. Okay, we'll see like this auto number in the next custom object. Okay. For now, we will create it as a text because the course name, what is the course name will be having text only, right? So what is the, for example, if I need to create a course name as a Java, Java is a text, right? So for example, I need to create the course name as a Salesforce, Salesforce is a text. Okay, that's where I need to make it as a text. Okay. Now, yeah. Now in the back end, what will happen? There will be a separate table for the courses like this because we are creating a new object, right? So that's where Salesforce also in backend server they will maintain a new object like this. What is the default field for every object will be having ID, and we are creating the name field, right? Whenever you're creating an object which represents, it's a mandate field. This is how it looks like. Yeah. For now, we are creating. Now, what is this optional features? Okay. So for any object, by creating any object, we need to set up few features also for this object. Okay. This object is not only for the content. Okay. So like this. So we can add few more features also. Okay. These features are Salesforce is asking whether you want this object to allow reports. Report is nothing but, can anybody say what is a report in general term? So what is a report? A report. What is meant by report? Any guess? The report is nothing but, for example, you went to some medical test, right? With your diagnosis. So what they will say? Yeah, not only result. So report is something to which, see, for example, you went to, I mean, we're discussing, right? What? So we went to Vijaya diagnosis. So we have given the sample. So what they will say? Sir, we will get the report in the evening. So what the report will be having? That details. Okay, that details in the form of a report. Like we are not logging into anything, right? We just need to see the data. Okay, we have to just see the data. All the data in the single place. Okay, so all the data in the single place. So that is what a report means. Okay, in Salesforce, so we are creating a lead record here, right? Salesforce, we are creating some lead record, and also we created some account records, for example, right? So I created a lead here. See how many leads I'm having. These many leads I'm having. So all this information I want to see in a report because this is the login of whom? End user, right? So this is a login of the end user who created these dates. So end user will see the screen like this. But what if the manager of that end user wants to see all this data related to him? Okay, then he will create a report. That's where Salesforce provided an option called report. We will see these reports in the last. So see, this is the reports. Okay. So I mean, if you want to create a new report, you can go to this new report and so you can create a report. For example, so till now we didn't create any report, any custom objects, right? So if you see, all these are the standard objects. So whatever the objects we have in the Salesforce, right? Those will come under this report. So we can able to create a report by using the standard object. So in a similar way, so we are creating a custom object, right? For custom objects also, we need to enable the generate the report, right? For that, if you want to give access, we need to use this allow report option. By default, every object will be used this report, right? So we need to enable this, okay? For every object, okay, not only for this, because every object managers want to export, right? So report, see, once you create a report, it will give an option to export also. Okay, from for my local system. For example, this is a report what we have, for example, the folder, right? So this is a report. So it will give us to export option also. See, export details. So whatever the records you will get here, you can export into the Excel. Okay. So that is the reason whatever object we are creating it, so we will allow that object to use in the report. That is this option. Okay, I will enable it. What is this allow activities? What is meant by activity? Anybody, any guess? Yes, work. Activity is nothing but work, right? So what work we need to do? Okay. So for this code, for example, when I open any lead, I created a lead, right? Okay. If you see here, you have a related list. So go down. So what is this page? What is this page? What is this page? Anybody? What is this page? I opened the lead. What is this page? You guys have to remember everything. This is a lead detail page. Okay. When I click on this edit, so what is this page? Edit page. Okay. This is edit page and this is detail page. Lead detail page. Okay. So if you see the related list, you can see open activities. So for this lead, if I want to create any task is nothing but the work you have to do. I am creating a task. Okay, I'm assigning to Chandru Shekhar and sample task. For example, what are the tasks? So we are assigning to this Chandru Shekhar something called to this lead. For example, I'm just creating this. So this is the task we are assigning to this Chandru Shekhar. So activity is nothing but the task. Okay, the task. If you want in, so by default, this is a standard object, right? Lead, right? Salesforce has given access for this activity. So that's why we can able to see the open activities here. In a similar way, this is the custom object. Salesforce asking us to use this allow activity, whether you want or not. If you want to create any activities for this course, you can enable this. Okay? I'm enabling this. What is this? Track field history. What does it mean? Track field history. Okay? For example, let me go to the example. I'm going to the setup. New tab here. Going for the setup. I'm going for the limited. Just checking what are the permissions that I have. So let me go to the account. I want to show you what is the field history tracking. Okay, so that you get that. Maybe going to the accounts. So where are we are at the track field history. Okay. So for example, on lead object, so I have these fields, right? What I have entered: name, company, title, lead source, email, and lead status, and phone number I have entered, right? If somebody changes this phone number, for example, somebody changes this phone number to some 81424384, something like this. Okay, I just click on save. Now this record got updated with this number, right? So what is the previous value so I have in this number? I don't know, right? Because so I entered something else. But when I logged into this lead and when I opened this record, this number got changed. I need to track. So who changed this number? Okay. I want to track who changes this number and from which number to which number. Right. So for that information, Salesforce is allowing us to give an option. If you want to track the field history, right? Phone is nothing but a field, right? Your phone is nothing but a field. So in order to track this information, Salesforce is also giving this option. So it is a useful. So that's why I enabled it. Starter groups you can ignore. Okay, it's not for now. Okay. And this licensing enabled by default it will be off only because it's a developer edition, right? So whenever you take the enterprise edition or professional edition or unlimited editions, so you will have this option. Okay, for now this is also no use. Okay, leave it. These are the main three things what you need to learn because every object we will create. I mean, whatever we are creating will be used for the reporting purpose, and for that reports we will create activities, and for that record fields, you need to maintain the history, because this will be very useful. If somebody changes our data, you can easily identify him. Okay, who changed it from what value to what value, why he can change. So that information you can ask him directly. Okay, that is the purpose. Salesforce is asking us to enable this factory. So see, these are the fields and the options already enabled by the Salesforce itself. Okay, if you want these records to be shared or not, that is allow sharing. Okay, by default you can enable all these permissions. Okay, so this is these three are the main. Okay, and deployment status. So what? So where we are developing this? It is developing in my developer org. If you want to move these changes, so we can keep it in a deployed state. Okay. If you want to do in a development state, then you can keep it in development. But by default, you can keep it in deployed only, because this is the only change we are doing it. Right? So deployment status always be deployed only. Okay. Now, what is this option search status? If you read this, when this setting is enabled, your users can find the records of this object type when they search. What does it mean? I will explain. So I created this read record, right? I recreated this read record. So what is this search bar here? What do you call the search bar? I told you it's. What is this? Global search bar. Okay. So you can call it as a global search. Okay. Somebody asks you what is global search in Salesforce. Okay, don't get confused. Simple. It is a global search bar. By default, Salesforce will provide to us in order to search something across this instance, across this sandbox. Both are same. Okay, sandbox instance. Okay. So I know the lead name. For example, I know the lead name. Okay. So I don't want to go to leads and just see. I mean, for example, I'm open. See how many leads are there in this page? 26 leads are there. Okay. So you may have thousands leads also, right? So because so lead is nothing but what we discussed. For Swhizz technologies, lead is nothing but a trainees, right? So trainees count will be more, right? Thousands or lakhs. Okay. So day by day, so the records count will be increased, because day by day the trainees will come, so they will enter the data here. So I'm lazy to open this record. Okay, I'm lazy to find out this record in the lead. So what I will do? So what this reception guy will do, like end user will do, he will just search, okay, based on this name. He knows the name. Okay, he knows the trainee's name. But instead of going to leads and find out what he will do, he will just simply search it. He simply Salesforce provided the lead details. Right? This is a global search. The name itself is a global search. Global in the sense, whatever the string you are entering in the search bar, okay, it will fetch from all the objects. All the objects in the sense, it will fetch from the leads, it will fetch from the accounts, it will fetch from the contact, whatever objects you have. So now we are going to create a new object called courses. Okay, from courses also it will fetch. So that is a usage of this global search. Okay, understood? Now simply the end user will open this record. So the reception guy will open this record. Simply. Okay. So in order to give the access, right, for this is a lead object Salesforce by default has provided, right? We are creating a custom object. That's where you need to allow this checkbox. If you enable this checkbox, then only whatever the string you are entering here, it will fetch from the courses also. Okay. If you not enabled it, it won't give you from the courses. Okay. That is the use of the set object. Got it? Right. Now we have one more option called object creation options available when the custom object is first created. See, this is very, very important. What it is saying, these options will be available only when this object is first created. After that, if you want, for example, let me show you, okay, in detail. This is the object, right? Already created in Salesforce. This is a standard object, right? So I have created few custom objects in my org for my personal use. Let me open one of the custom object. Okay. For this is the custom object I created. For example, I'm opening the answers object. Right. These are all the object details what we are setting up. Okay, right now. These are all the settings we'll be having in this object. When I click on this edit, see everything is coming right till allow set. So if you compare these both screens, after creating also you can able to enable these features, but these two options are not coming, right? This is a new object. When we are creating it, it is allowing us to enable it, but if you want to modify that object details after creating it, those two options are not coming. These are the last option also. That's what he is saying, available only when the custom object is first created. This is very important. If you want to enable it, just enable it here. So after that, you won't get these details. Okay, what is this details? Add notes and attachment related list to the default layout. Notes and attachments means for every object you see here, leave for this we did add it. Okay, our account will see what notes and for this also we don't have. Right now we don't have. So contact, see, you have a related list, right? So what is this page? What is this page? Detail page, right? See, this is the notes and attachment related list we have. Okay. So if you want this contact object to want to use this notes and attachments, so you can enable this checkbox. Okay. For now, I will enable it. What is this option? Launch new custom tab after saving this custom object. So you created a custom object, but you want to store the record, right? So for that, you need a tab, right? Right? That is an option. It is provided. Okay. We need to enable all these things. Whenever you click on save, what will happen? A object will be created, right? And also this is a step one. So what is saying? Object name courses, right? It is asking for the tab style. Okay, you can just select anything. Okay. Now when I click on next, what is asking? For the profiles. So whatever you create, okay, it will ask for the profile level access. What is a profile? Actually, we discussed. In order to access this object, we need to provide this tab, a custom object access for the user, right? For user, how you will provide the access? Through profile, right? So that's why it's asking what is the tab access for this profile. By default, I will give available for the all profiles default on. So in XLTS class, this option we have seen somewhere, right? Where we have seen these options in the profile. Okay. So for any access in Salesforce, right, you can give access in the two ways. At the time of creating that field or app or object. So it will ask, okay, for what profile you need to provide the access. And also the second option is directly go to the profile, and from that profile you can give the access. Okay, there are two ways. So now we are creating the object, right? We know for which profiles I need the access. So then directly you can give access from here. If you want for all profiles the same access, you can choose the first option. The second option is, for example, I need to change for one profile. I don't want this. And for one user, I don't want this. For one profile, I don't want it. Like that. So if you want to configure for each and every profile, okay, then you can choose the second option and you can see if you select this option by default, what will be for all these profiles, you want the same permission, then you can use first option. Simple. Okay. If you want to give different permissions for different profiles, then you can use the second option. Okay. For myself, for now I'm using for all the profiles because we have only one profile, right? What we have created yesterday, sales step. So by default, I will make it as a on. Now see, this is the next page. It is asking, right? For what application you want the access? Custom app. So yesterday, what we have created for Swhizz technologies, right? We want. So for now, what I will do, I will remove all these. I don't want all the. I only want for this application to access it. I click on save. Finally, my custom object got created. Okay, my custom object got created. Now, in backend, what will happen? If you see this, by default, Salesforce has given me these standard fields. Okay, whenever you create an object, this name where you configured at the time of insertion in the first page, you have set up right this name. So now in backend, what will happen? Backend, what will happen? These are the standard fields Salesforce created. What is this? The name we have created by last modified by owner. So for any object, okay, for any object you create in Salesforce, Salesforce by default will provide these fields. Those fields are nothing but a standard field. Got it? For any object, you create, Salesforce by default will create this fields last modified by owner. Should be, you can say last modified by an owner, right? Right. So this is the table which they automatically create from the Salesforce DB. Right? So now whatever the records you will create, so those records will come in here like this. Got it? Okay. Now let me go to my UI. So now what I will tell. So as a developers, we created, right? We created the custom object, right? Now I need to test it, right? Before giving to this technologies client, I need to test it. Okay. Yesterday I told, so developers role is to configure something and they need to do the testing also before handover to client. Now I enable the tab permissions, right? See, so that's where I got the courses tab also here. Okay, got it. Now what I will do, so now I am testing from the developer point of view because this is my login. Okay, for me it is coming. Now what I need to do, I need to log in as a end user also. Where is my end user will be there? The users. Go to the users. Actually, I created right one end user for this technologies. His name is Harish. Okay, so Harish is the guy who sits in the reception and collecting all the information of the trainees. Right? What is the profile of him? He is a sales rep. Right? Now what I need to do? I need to log in as a Harish. Okay. Now I need to see whether he is getting the courses or not. He's getting courses. He's in Swhizz Technologies. So why he is not getting courses? So why I am getting courses? Right? That is the reason you need to test it before giving it to Swhizz Technologies. See, for us it is coming. Okay. So here we need to test as a business user only. For admins, so we are the admins, right? So we will have full access. Yeah. But when I try to log in as Harish, he's not able to see the courses also. Then what they will tell, we are not able to see the courses, right? That's where they will have some negative impression on us. We have done good thing. Yeah, we have enabled and for us, I mean for admin user, so we can able to see it. But why they are not able to see? So that's where the testing team comes into picture. Okay. From developers on a hurry, so he will give it to QA or he will to give it to business. Okay, it's working for me like that. But testing people will do this real-time testing. Okay. So in order to give that negative impression to the client, what we have done, I mean, what we need to do, we need to test as a end user also before giving it to QA also. Right? Got it? Now we'll see why he is not able to get it. So yesterday we discussed it. All these access are coming from what? Any access in Salesforce, any access will come from for this user comes from where? Comes from no, all these permissions comes from profile, right? See for Harish, so if you want to access leads, so where we configured in profile only, right? Right. Now I'm logging out from the. I think you people also face the same issue, right? So whenever you click on login or log out, that's where you have to log in from the other browser. Okay. So you can refresh it. See, for me it is coming courses. For Harish, why he's not able to see? Let me go to the user. Okay, this is the user name. So what is the profile of him? Sales rep. So all the access are coming from this profile only. So I need to go to the profile. Okay. Now, what is the access I need to search? First of all, object is a custom object, right? So I need to go for custom object. Okay. This is the custom object tab. So what is the object we created right now? Is the courses. Is having any access for the courses object? No, right? So that is the reason is not getting access. What I need to do? I need to in the edit. Now I need to go to the. So here we have many options, right? Just search for custom object. Right. These are all the custom objects I created in my order. Okay. Here courses. So what I need to give access here? So what this Harish will do at reception? He has to enter the data in the courses, right? So I have to give read access and he wants to create some data, right? So I will have to give create access and also he want to update the course data also, right? So I need to give read access and if he wants to delete it, the courses, so I need to provide him the delete access. Okay. For right now, I'm not giving the delete access. Okay. What access I have given? Read, create, edit. What is under read? View. What is under create? Insert. What is can be edit? Update. Now, and also I need to search for the tab permissions. He's not able to see the tab, right? So I need to check for the tab. This is the tab settings. So we'll see whether we already given, right? But so we will cross check. Okay. Courses. Where is it? Can anybody see courses here? Yeah, this is a custom tab, custom object, right? So we call it as a custom tab. Courses. It's a default on only, so that's fine, right? Now I'm saving my profile details. Whose profile it is? Harish profile, right? For Harish. So you can see the users assigned for this profile also by clicking on this. Only Harish is able to access this profile. Like only Harish we assign for so on this profile, right? For now. So now I'm trying to log in with Harish to check whether he got the access. So he got the access, right? So now we need to inform to the client saying, so we have provided access for the Harish. Okay. Now they can able to see the courses. They won't raise any concern of this now. So this is how development is not only the work the developers will do. Okay. He has to test by logging as a end user also. So these are the important things. Okay. Now what he will do? He will come to the courses. So we already provided him the new access again, create access, right? Create is nothing but new. That's where this button, okay, he can able to see. Now I'm just one. See, by default we have only one field. So this is the field what we created at the creation of the object, right? Now I need to enter some codes name. So for example, I will enter Java. Okay. Who is this Harish? The end user. He will click on save. Okay. What is this page? What is this page? Detail page, right? This is a detail page. Okay. So this is how he will create a custom object in order to store the courses information. Okay, in order to store the courses information. Got it? What is an object? What is a custom object? What is the use of custom object? So we have many standard objects, right? So this is for my business, my Swiss Technologies business. We are using the Salesforce. So whatever object Salesforce is providing, so we can use it. But if you want the custom objects also, we can create it, right? So for us, so we are not using opportunities here. So why? We don't need to use that opportunities because we don't have that functionality in our business. Okay. We have only leads, accounts, contacts, and we want a custom object to be created called a courses in order to maintain the data. Clear? Any doubts here? So what is this course now here? It is a tab, right? In the front end, if you talk about the objects in front end, those are nothing but tab. Okay, for developer point of view, that is an object. Clear? What is a custom object and what are the permissions we need to configure, right? Clear, right? Now I'm logging out. Again, logged out from my instance. Now I will explain on high level. I think you understand, right? What is a custom object and object. You guys try to create the same thing in classic and also try to create in the lightning also. Okay, the only few changes will be there. That's it. Okay. Now let me show you one more object which I created. Yeah, for example, if you take this object, okay, this This is my one more custom object I created for my project work. Okay, I just click on this edit. Now what I will see all the object permissions which I configured. And when I go to the again back, when I want to open something related to questions, also custom object. If you see for any object, I told you for anything you create custom, right? Salesforce will maintain a field, unique field. If you see this is underscore underscore C. That means this is a custom object. If you see for leads, you go to leads, right? This is a standard, right? If I want to go to leads, for leads you won't find lead underscore underscore C. Okay, as a standard object, it's okay. But let me open the lighting. Okay, in lighting you can see the object name. So whatever object or field you create in Salesforce, okay, if it is a custom object, Salesforce will maintain a suffix to this underscore underscore C. See, the object name is API name is lead, but for us a custom object, the API name is underscore underscore C. Okay, that is the difference Salesforce will be maintaining. Right? It's not only for object. The next class we are going to create a custom field also. Okay, that so there also you will see the same thing underscore underscore C. And also I want to show one more thing. Okay, for wrap up, I want to show one more thing. So I created object. Okay, I need to go to object. Objects. What I created now? Courses, right? Courses. Now this is the custom objects. That's why they appended with underscore underscore C. What is the API name of the standard fields? Just name, just created by, just last modified by. There is no suffix for this, right? Underscore underscore kind of thing. But when you create a custom field, you will get the same like underscore underscore. Okay, that is what Salesforce backend is following for in order to differentiate between the standard field and custom field. Okay. Now I want to show one more thing. So where is it? Questions, right? So I created the custom object for one of the requirement. Okay. So when I want to open the settings for this object, so this is the page. It's also external. No? So to show the auto number. The auto number we have created. So it's also custom. So fourth line item. Yeah. So now see, I have created this custom object. Okay, for one of my requirement, right? I'm just opening it. What are the details available for this object? When I click on edit, okay, I want to see what are the permissions we enable. Allow reports, activities, field track history. All these are same, like the courses object. The difference is, if you see here, I told we have created our course object with name, right? With name as the record identification, right? This is the standard what we need to give, whether it's a text or we have a auto number, right? For courses, we have given the text. What is this auto number, right? What is this auto number? So when you click on this auto number data type, right? So what what happens in the background. This is one more object. So this is the object port line item. Port line item. I will make it as like this for shortcut. Okay. So I will have a column like this. What is the first column? ID. For every object, you will be having an ID. So okay, for now I need okay, two fields are enough. Okay. I don't have space here. So okay. So for this port line item object, okay, for this port line item object, I have used the auto number. Auto number means so whenever you select text, okay, the other field is disappearing, right? When you select auto number, it is asking for the format. So in what format this auto number should looks like? Okay. So I have it's a quote, right? So which represents quote. That's why I use the format as a cube. And also I'm using a format like I need only 4 digits to be displayed 0001. Okay. So this is the auto number data type. So if you create the auto number here, what the Salesforce backend will look like? They will create a field called what is the name of this field? Port line item first name. This is the name. So in backend, the database it will be like it will be saved like this. Okay, it will be saved like this. So let me show you one thing here. Let me show you how this auto number looks like. Okay, I mean, so I'm an admin, right? So I can able to see all the tabs in the plus bar, right? These are all the objects available. So what is our my object? It's a code, right? Code line customs is my object. When I click on this object, right? I want to create a record. Is it asking me the record name? No. I will make you. I mean, I will compare both the courses what we have created. Okay. When I click on new, what is asking here? Course name, which is the mandate. It is asking, right? But so where is the that name here? It is not coming. Why it is not coming? Because we make it as a auto number, right? So when I create something by entering some code, test code kind of thing, and I click on save, what is the number I got? See, this is the name. What we have set up this name as auto number. That is why it is automatically generating, right? Why it is 5? I created record. Why it is 5? Sorry. Yeah. So why it came with 5 only? I created record. Why it came 5? Why it didn't show me as a 10 or 15 or 16 or 17? Can you guess? Sorry, somebody speaking. Shashank, I'm not able to hear you if you're speaking. Okay, no issue. I think I'm not able to hear you there, Shashank. Okay. So let me show why we got this number as a 5. Okay, I will create one more record. Maybe you will get it now. I will create one more. Okay, one more record. So why it came 6 now? Exactly. That means if you go to the tab, okay, if you go to the tab, just click on all the records available in here. See, these 4 records are already available. Whenever I creating a new record, it started with the next, okay, number, that is known as auto number. Okay, so we created the course object. See, for course object, auto number needs or not? No, right? So course is a name. So that is a text field, right? So that's where I didn't create a auto number field. So so why we got only 4 digits here? So why I got Q underscore here? That is where I created the format. I'm saying Salesforce, whatever the record creating in this object, that should follow this format. Okay. If I give some 6 digits or 7 digits, it will follow the same. Okay, 6 digits will come. Okay. This is what the difference between an auto number and the text field. Okay. So tomorrow what we will do is, okay. So this is the, so tomorrow what I will do, I will do some task here. Okay. Create courses object. Don't create any fields for now. Okay. Just create courses object and provide access to sales rep, sales rep profile. I think you are following, right? So every day, I mean, whatever I'm asking you guys to do, just do it, okay? Or else it's very difficult to understand. Okay, perfect. So already you assigned a user with this profile, right? And second thing is login as sales rep and check if he can able to access the record or not. Sorry, access the tab or not. Right. Now I am giving you one more task, right? Create a batch object. Got it? Batch object. Batch in the sense, so now you are under one batch, right? You people are under one batch. Okay? Batch object and provide access to sales rep. Got it? Access to sales rep. Okay? Again, log in with sales rep and check whether they can able to see the access or not. Okay? So this batch object should have what is the default field we need to use for the batch? Sorry. So what is the default field we need to use for the batch? What is the default? See, while creating this batch object, right? You will create this batch object, right? So what you need to select here? Auto number or text for batch? Why for batch auto number? Sorry? Exactly. So for batch, you should not use text, right? You can use text, but the correct thing is you need to use the auto number. Why? Suppose the end user will create a batch one today. So he will just enter the details. That's it. So when you click on save, so it will auto generate as a batch one. right? So now tomorrow he will create one more record. So automatically that should be a batch 2, right? So based on the requirement and based on the object usage, okay, we need to decide whether we need to use the batch, I mean auto number or text. Okay. So now for batch, I want to use auto number. Okay. I want to use auto number. Okay. The task called enter and create few records. Okay. In course object, course, and what else? Batch object. Okay. Batch object as a sales rep. Okay. I don't want you people to create records as a developer. Why? Because we can able to create anything because we are the admins. Okay. So we are here to just create some test data only. The real-time data, the Harish in our, I mean, in my org, Harish is a sales rep who will create the real-time data. For him to create a real-time data, I created two objects called courses and the batch. I need to give permissions for him to create it. Log in as a Harish and try to create a records in this. You guys are able to see this Zoom, right? I just kept in the chat now. Everyone can access, right? Can you see in the chat the tasks what I have entered today? Yes, no.
I'm not able to hear you guys. In the chat only. I mean, I just pinged you in the chat. Ayush, Shashank. The Zoom chat. Are you able to hear me, right? My voice is clear, right? Okay. Okay.
Again, I'm just pinging you. Please let me know if you can. Okay, I think it is directly in the Ayush it's going. Okay.
Can you see now? I just pinged you in the group chat. Did you guys receive? Okay, fine. So just copy, okay? So copy these tasks into your notepad, okay? Just to try to create whatever we discussed today, okay? And also, I want you guys to create a trailhead account, okay? I want you guys to create a trailhead account.
What is trailhead account is nothing but as a developer or Salesforce is providing us
To learn in the trailhead, okay? Just go to Google and use the trailhead login, okay? Just go to Google and use trailhead login like this, okay? You will get a link here. Just go to the trailhead, okay? And just sign up here, okay? Just sign up, okay? I want everyone to use a Trailblazer account. This is also for free. Okay. So what is this Trailblazer account? So so it will ask you to create few things. Okay. So whatever we are doing right now, that is our developer edition, in order for developers to do it. And so this Trailblazer account is something Salesforce will guide us. Okay, go to here, go to there, go to that. Okay. So and also you will be having a badges here. Okay, whatever we are discussing, you need to create in our developer org, and also just to try to create the same thing in the Trailblazer also. So Trailblazer, so for example, in developer edition, what we have done, we have created the courses object, right? In Trailblazer, so he will ask to create some other object. Okay. So create that object in the Trailblazer account, so that you will be get hands-on in the creation of the objects and everything, right? Okay, got it. So create an account and try to explore what is there in this account. Okay, we are doing a some real-time project here, but this Trailblazer account is something for you guys to get some hands-on. So hands-on means, so it will make you easy to navigate. Okay, from here to there. Okay, so try to create this account. Okay, and use it. So these are the tags. Okay, so these are the tasks for Monday. Okay, tomorrow I think it is a holiday. So you guys, I mean, whatever we discussed from last 5 sessions, okay, just to go through all the documents or videos, okay. And if you have any doubts, okay, we'll discuss on Monday class. Clear? Okay, sure. Sure, Shashank, we'll have. Okay. Okay, guys. Thanks for joining today. So yeah, have a great day. So we'll meet on Monday again. Okay. Thanks.